F it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody. Well, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Tuesday, May 25th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, the Savage One, Mr. Tony Spark. Tony, how you doing aside from being a little freaked out by the little disclaimer glitches there at the beginning?
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh, is the radio going to crack? Ish, ooh, ee, ooh, ee, wee. 010101. No, man, I'm doing great. I got some good rest last night. I tried to watch Army of the Dead. I was telling you before we went on air, and I was really into it. I'm so into it. I made it a little under a half hour in, and I crashed. And not because it's boring. I just have this really bad problem of staying awake, which we then discussed. It's because I'm always go, 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 go. So when I finally sit down, that's when the body's like, okay, dude. So, hey, and then the Nuggets won last night, 128-109. So we evened the series against the Trailblazers. So that's a good thing. Very decisive win last night. And of course, I already said the Avs have moved on. So I'm a happy guy in sports. And did you see the Aaron Rodgers interview last night with Kenny Mayne?
I did not. No.
Yeah, he came out. Real quick. Yeah, so he finally did a little interview with the media. He hasn't said nothing since wanting a trade out of the Packers. And Kenny Mayne kept asking him, and he danced around it and he's like, no, it's not about me. It's about you. And he danced, but he finally did give a little answer saying, like, he does love Jordan Love. He loves his teammates, loves the Packers fans and stuff, but his beef is with management and stuff, and he went very philosophical about his answer. And they're like, "Sir, do you want to trade or not?" And he goes, "I just want to wish you a happy career, Kenny." And it was a really good interview. It was funny, but Aaron Rodgers definitely knew how to dance with it. But it definitely sounds like there's trouble in paradise. I don't know if he'll be back, especially based off his reaction and everything. So fingers crossed here in the Mile High City. Maybe just one finger, because two is sometimes bad, but that would be good. It'd be good.
We've got about 5-6 days before I think we'll hear something in that regard. So we'll keep our ear to the ground in that case. But you know what? Let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do. And every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, say you just bought a brand new lawnmower. It wasn't paid off yet, but what would you do to raise the money to go ahead and pay off that lawnmower?
Well, I'd happen to just do a car wash, right? You get a bunch of dudes, and then you wear like Daisy Dukes and sponges and sponge the bug goop, or if you're Florida, the love bugs off your car, and you get really big hosses, and scrape the sponges of soap all over your hosse's gut. No. Is that gross? That was just really gross.
Blast a little Def Leppard or Great White.
Yeah, exactly. I figured since, Def Leppard's been done before, you'd have to find a really obscure, 80s band. Maybe a little Trickster, a little Wasp,
There you go.
Invite David Ellefson of Megadeth over off to the corner since he ain't playing bass anymore.
He's doing something else in the corner, that's for sure.
Spanky! Snapping the bass. But no, I wouldn't do any of that. I just really wanted to be really dramatic and entertaining. That was it. I just wanted to give you something different.
And with as ridiculous as that is, it's not as ridiculous as this.
Ah, damn, I wanted to one-up it.
The Ashtabula Sheriff's Office and ATF
Ashtabula
are investigating after a 55-year-old Clay Street resident died when an improvised explosive device he was making exploded in his garage. Sheriff officials say a neighbor told them the man was making the explosive in his garage and had planned to sell it to pay off a lawnmower he had recently purchased. Deputies responded to the 1300 block of Clay Street Saturday after being notified that Jefferson Fire Department was dispatched to the address. Deputies were told that a male victim was trapped inside the garage. When deputies arrived on scene, the detached garage located behind the residence was burned to the ground and debris was scattered into the neighbor's yard. The state fire marshal was also called to the scene to help with the investigation. The victim was transported to University Hospital Geneva Medical Center, where he died from his injuries. Surprise, surprise. So, yeah, if you're trying to pay off a lawnmower or other small purchase, maybe don't make improvised explosive devices in your garage. Just a warning.
No, that guy is just, if you play the sound clip, you're so dumb. Like, that one fits perfect.
Yeah, if only it was a Florida man. But in that case, folks,
what a moron.
We've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
This is Taco Tuesday!
As we do on Tuesdays, we've got Animal Tales, sponsored by roughriders.org. We've got a segment called Everyday Items Dark Past. And then we round out the day with This Day in History. Folks, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. We've got a little thing we talk about each show. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you blew yourself up making a bomb in your garage trying to pay back a lawnmower. We want to hear about it if you can. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, it is Tuesday, and as we do on Tuesdays, we like to explore Animal Tales, sponsored by roughriders.org. Now, Rough Riders is a local 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the transport of dogs from the rural outlying shelters where they may not have a second chance, bringing them here into the metro area of northern Nevada, working with local shelters and rescues to find them homes, give them a second chance at life. If you want more information, head over to roughriders.org. That's RUFFriders.org, or on Facebook at facebook.com/roughriderssaves. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Animal Tales.
Dogs and the cats, they take up the middle where the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, the donkey brays and the pony neighs, the old gray badger sighs.
Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with the big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo.
Every time makes me harken back to when I was a kid, Tone. You pull on the speak and say, and it spins.
Moo.
The cow goes.
It does.
Moo.
The cow goes moo.
All right, well, let's get into Animal Tales with our first story. A fun-loving pup went on a joyride in his human's car when he pushed the gear shifter into reverse and spun around a cul-de-sac for nearly an hour. Residents of Port St. Lucie, Florida neighborhood had a chuckle Thursday morning when they learned to a car being driven in circles around the cul-de-sac was being driven by a dog. Neighbor Anna Sable was alarmed when she looked out her window and saw police cars lining her normally quiet street. She laughed when she learned they were responding to a car being driven by her neighbor's black Labrador. I laughed. I thought it should be. I thought they should give that dog a license to drive, Sable told WPTV. He was a better driver than a lot of them I've seen. I hope she means a lot of Floridians, not other dogs. Police said the dog's owner briefly stepped out of the car when the dog pushed the shifter into reverse and began nearly an hour-long joyride around the cul-de-sac. Officers were able to unlock the car using the keyless entry keypad on the driver's side door and bring the car ride to an end, but not before the dog took out a neighbor's mailbox, knocked over a trash can, and rearranged some bricks on another lawn. He was doing pretty good until he hit the mailbox. He went around for about an hour without hitting anything at all, Sable said. No one was hurt in the lab's hour-long drive, and the dog seemed pretty pleased with himself when his ride ended. I saw the dog jump out of the car, wagging his tail. I was like, okay, good driving, Sable said. Something you don't hear about every day, and there is video that I'm going to post this up on our Facebook page so you guys can see the dog driving around the cul-de-sac for an hour, but I bet he had just the time of his life.
That is Vance Joseph, and he's having the time of his life. Remember that really bad sports announcer for Monday Night Football that year?
I do.
Oh my God.
I don't know if many listeners will remember that. But.
No, but that just, when you said having the time of his life, you just took me back there, man. But it sounds like in Port St. Lucie, like he had a real good time though.
Yeah, it's a Florida dog story. It's not even Wednesday yet, and I'm already
Florida dog, smoking meth with that big ass frog. It's Florida dog. Whoop whoop.
Well, let's move on with Animal Tales. This one's pretty interesting. So researcher, God, I'm telling you, words
are hard on the daily. We just cover a segment on Wednesday.
Exactly. Researchers are working on a pilot program backed by Russia's Rosatom to inject rhino horns with radioactive material, a tactic that could discourage consumption and make it easier to detect illegal trade. Poachers killed 394 rhinos in South Africa for their horns just last year. Government data shows with public and private game reserves lacking the resources needed to monitor vast tracts of land and protect the animals that live there. While the toll was a third lower than in 2019 and the sixth straight drop, illegal hunting remains the biggest threat to about 20,000 of the animals in the country, the world's biggest population. Thousands of existing sensors along international borders could be used to detect a small quantity of radioactive material inserted into the horns, according to Professor James Larkin for the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, who has a background in radiation protection and nuclear security. A whole new army of people could be able to detect the illegal movement of rhino horns, he said. Some alternative methods of discouraging poaching, including poisoning, dyeing, and removing the horns, have raised a wide spectrum of opinion as to their virtue and efficacy. Known as the Rhizotope Project, the new anti-poaching initiative started earlier this month with the injection of an amino acid into 2 rhinos' horns in order to detect whether the compound will move into the animals' bodies. Additional studies using computer modeling and a replica rhino head will also be done to determine a safe dose of radioactive material. So, it's sad to hear the vast amounts of poaching that goes on just for a rhino horn. It's not like, indigenous tribes who use an animal for everything, the skin, the meat, the hooves, the horn, the bones, whatever it may be. These guys are just going after the horns, or in the cases of elephants, tusks. And it's great to see that science is sort of taking a front seat to combating it, and hopefully this works.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't know, the whole going after the horns, the tusks, all that stuff off animals. It's just ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. They're living creatures. They're just roaming their own little existence, and just for a part of their body. That's it. Right. They're being killed for one part.
Right. That somebody will use to adorn their home, or, make piano keys out of, things like that, which is just ridiculous. It's beyond me, but, science is taking the right step.
No, that is good.
Talking animal tales. All right. This one. So, let me get that sound bite ready. Oh, it's already there. A spooky creature named the vampire fish.
Fish, I will suck your blood from Lake Placid.
Has been spotted by local divers in the American River. These vampire fish, known as the Pacific lamprey, are long eel-like fish with teeth, but don't worry, they are harmless. Experts consider these fish rare, but they are native to California and the American River. Diver Carl Bly, who is often seen on the river fishing or finding lost items, I'm telling you, words are hard today, remembers them from spending time on the water as a kid. I hadn't seen one in 30 years, Bly told Fox 40. It felt like an old friend, even though it was probably only a year-old fish. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife say these lampreys disappeared for a while, but have started to resurface. So, species that, you assume are either gone or endangered, they're starting to reemerge. And I think that the pandemic had a lot to do with a lot of that for nature, because humans weren't out in the world doing things the same way they were in prior years.
Right. Oh. That's just vampire fish.
Oh, and then finally here in Animal Tales. This one could be a Florida man if it took place in Florida, but Tony, get that soundbite ready. I know you've got it. A family dispute over custody of a pet turtle required police intervention this week. Cops
I like turtles. I don't. My soundboard's having issues, so I like turtles.
It is a full moon, so
yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Well, cops were called Tuesday morning to an Ohio residence to deal with competing claims on an African side-necked turtle, according to a sheriff's report. Devin Staw, 28, told deputies that he left the turtle with his parents when he went out of town for a few days with his girlfriend. Devin stated that he was now there to retrieve the turtle, with his parents refusing to return the turtle to him. Staw claimed he had receipts for when he purchased the turtle, and also had photos of him and the turtle on Instagram, as seen above, a photo of a parent turtle in question was uploaded last year to Sta's Facebook page. Of course, I'll post this in our Facebook so you guys can see it. Sta's parents gave cops a different account of why they were caring for the turtle, who is not named in the sheriff's report, sadly. Both advised their son had requested the couple keep his turtle as he was going to be incarcerated and unable to care for the turtle. According to jail records, Sta, seen at Wright, was arrested in late February on misdemeanor assault and domestic violence counts and subsequently freed on $4,100 bond. Sta's mother told cops that the turtle was in poor health when the couple began caring for the pet and had to receive medical attention. Additionally, cops noticed Sta's parents said that their son was aware the couple was going to keep the turtle permanently. The domestic dispute ended with the reptile remaining with Sta's parents. Sounds like a good thing. And after Sta's mother declared that her son was not permitted at the residence, deputies advised Devin he is no longer welcome on his parents' property. And cops added, departed the area without incident and his turtle. So, yeah.
Turtle.
There you go, Tone.
There it is.
I like turtle.
But sounds like, justice won in this case, that this guy who was incarcerated on assault and domestic violence probably wasn't the best person to care for a turtle. So, you know what? In the end, justice wins. Well, folks,
justice is served.
That does it for this segment. When we come back, we've got a segment called Everyday Items Dark Pasts. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show, and we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you want to get us on your mobile device or on your television, just download the ngbn.tv app on your smart TV or your mobile device and find the Fenix Media channel there, and you can get this show and other great Fenix Media shows right from the comfort of your own home. Again, that's the ngbn.tv mobile app and smart TV app. That's what it's called. If you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. And Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony Spark. That's SPARK81, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, in this segment, don't really remember what brought it on, but it got me thinking that, some of the everyday items that we use probably have some really dark origins. Were used for maybe some truly horrendous things. And so did a little Google search and sure enough found a series of everyday items that have dark histories. So, Tony, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the item and see if you can guess what the dark history is. So that's why we're calling this segment Everyday Items Dark Past.
Excellent.
All right, the first one, Tony, Kleenex. What do you think Kleenex was used for before?
Before it was used to blow your nose and get all the boogies out? Kleenex, wow. It sounds so nice. I don't know what evil doer it would be. Maybe it was made to make the material was made for making a rope or something to torture people. Okay. I have no idea. But I'm trying to think dark because I
like turtles.
So well, it's a good guess. Well, it was actually used as a gas mask filter. Before you were using them to blow your nose and clean up after yourself, these iconic facial tissues were originally developed to function as disposable gas mask filters during World War I. According to Kimberly Clark's own account of the history, the material used in Kleenex, a malleable and thin cellulose, was found a remarkable...
Words are hard, man.
No,
yeah.
In this case, it's an editor issue.
Oh, okay.
Remarkably effective cotton substitute for dressing both wounds and filtering air coming into gas masks. So every time you blow your nose, just keep in mind that could have saved you from some mustard gas or something along those lines.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is
oh my god!
Let's move on with everyday
not what I would have thought for that, for sure.
Oh, trust me, they get weirder. Everyday items, dark pasts.
Excellent.
Well, this next one, Tony, could be used with the previous product, just to give you a hint. Tony, what is the dark past of graham crackers?
Oh man, graham crackers are so good, especially honey grahams. They're yummy and they're delicious. But honey graham, well, it wouldn't be honey graham. That's a brand. But graham crackers.
I gave you a big hint with saying it could be used in conjunction with the last item we were just talking about.
Well, it maybe caused to suffocate. They stuff your mouth full of them because they're hard to break down. So you got it because usually you got to wash them down if you get a lot because they don't break down super easy. So I'll go with a suffocation thing.
Okay, another good guess, but not correct. It was originally intended, we're talking graham crackers, as a anti-masturbation collation. Now you see the connection to the Kleenex.
Yeah, there you go.
The tasty and crummy s'mores bookends weren't always just a delicious midday snack. In fact, they were first introduced by the eponymous Presbyterian minister Sylvester Graham as part of a special diet that was meant to curb carnal urges, which he attributed to many maladies of the day. There was a popular theory of the era that speculated that if you could reduce your sexual appetite by simply eating bland food, it would work. It didn't. Sorry, Sylvester. But so graham crackers designed to keep kids from getting those hairy palms, I guess.
Hairy palms.
Let's move on with
man.
dark pasts.
Excellent.
Tony, the next item is Listerine. What is the dark past of Listerine?
Listerine, before it was making your breath taste fresh, it was probably used to like you put in the people's cuts or something like is it iodine or something? Torture. It was used for torturing or something.
You know what? You are mostly correct. It was an antiseptic, so it was used on wounds, and it prevented STDs. So before it was used to obliterate your stinky morning breath, Listerine mouthwash was originally developed as a surgical-grade antiseptic. But it was also marketed as a floor cleaner and was even used to keep the promiscuous masses of the 19th century clap-free. So, if you got a little bit of those creepy crawlies downstairs, if you're washing out your mouth, maybe use a little down in the nether region as well.
Oh. That's nuts.
Let's keep moving on. Everyday items, dark pasts.
Excellent.
The next is Oneida silverware.
Okay.
What do you think the dark past of Oneida silverware is?
The dark past of Oneida silverware is they made, I'm all about torturing today. They made torture devices.
Well, not necessarily. Its founder started a crazy religious sex commune.
I would not have guessed that.
I'm sure you wouldn't have. Before it was the behemoth silverware maker it is today, Oneida was a religious commune in upstate New York founded by the radical philosopher and utopian socialist John Humphrey Noy, who promoted free love and a variety of unusual contraceptive methods. Making silverware was simply a side business to generate money, and he was only able to turn it into the operation it is today thanks to a shift in focus brought about by the commune's decline. So next time you're using Oneida silverware, just know that it came from a sex commune.
Yikes. That's that thing took like a hard left there. Definitely didn't see that one coming. For sure.
Drop! Let's keep rolling on. Everyday items, dark pasts.
Excellent.
All right, Tony, your guess for every other one has led up to this. The item is treadmills. What were treadmills originally used for?
Before they helped burn the jiggly jigglies off your butt, they were probably used, I don't know if it's the founder of the company or if it was used, maybe it was used as punishment. Like people were just tied to it and had to keep going like a hamster wheel to make things move or something. Like it was more of an imprisonment thing, so it had to move stuff. Oh!
You nailed it on the head, Tom. Ever been suffering on a treadmill at the gym and thought to yourself, man, this machine is straight up evil? Well, it turns out you're right. See, the modern day treadmill is an evolved version of the tread wheel, which was basically an energy-producing human-sized hamster wheel that served as a form of punishment and penal labor during the early Victorian period in Britain. Tony, you knocked it out of the park.
Dude, that was just a guess. I really didn't know that, so that's pretty cool. Got one.
It is.
Got it.
We teach you guys something on this show. Well, let's keep rolling on. Everyday items, dark pasts.
Excellent.
Next item, Tony, is fertilizer. What is the dark past of fertilizer?
Before it was made to grow and nurture your lawn, it was used to decompose bodies. This one, I'm sure I'm way off on this one.
You know what? It was a fantastic guess. You are off, but great guess. It was actually invented by the father of chemical warfare. While half of the world's food supply comes from crops grown with some sort of ammonia fertilizer, Fritz Haber pioneered this effort, and intelligence were also used for evil.
Like Dr. Evil?
Exactly.
During
World
warfare?
War I, the German chemists spent a good deal of time developing and weaponizing poison gas, specifically chlorine, which led some declaring him a war criminal, and of course, eventually made fertilizer down the road. So again, things that are good now weren't necessarily good back in the past.
Oof. That's definitely, it's crazy how like modern day stuff, you just don't think like it came from such a really dark past. It's nuts.
For instance, this next one, talking everyday items, dark pasts.
Excellent.
Magnetic tape. Talking like VHS tapes, cassette audio. Where did that come from? What is its dark past, Tone?
Its dark past was to incriminate celebrities when they made dirty sex tapes and when they would get caught doing dirty dirties to get kicked out of heavy metal bands. I'm looking at you, Ellison.
Not too far off. It was actually used as Nazi broadcast technology. While modern technology has sprinted far ahead of this unique recording method, found in everything from reel-to-reel recorders to cassette tapes, it was state-of-the-art back when the Nazis developed it to record and rebroadcast their radio addresses. It wasn't until the war ended that the Allies were able to bring the technology out of Germany and make it commercially viable. So we have the Nazis to thank for cassette tapes, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. And then finally here, Tone, rounding out everyday items, dark pasts.
Excellent.
Tony, what is the dark past of vibrators?
Please click Module 2. Sexual harassment. It's more than you think.
Okay.
Well, that is
thanks.
Apropos.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was. Hey, sexual harassment. Can you repeat the question, Alex?
The dark past of vibrators.
Vibrators, they were used not for your pleasure of the clitty. Oops, sorry, kitties. It was used to like shake the truth out of people. Just, I don't know.
Quite. It was actually used to treat female hysteria. Before they were the cornerstone of the sex toy industry, the vibrator was considered a legitimate medical device invented by male doctors who would administer it to women diagnosed with hysteria. The treatment for the loosely defined ailment, which would later be recognized as simple sexual frustration, was for doctors to manually bring them to orgasm using their hands, which was evidently too exhausting and spawned the development of this labor-saving tool. So, ladies...
So is that...
You've got doctors to thank for that fun and...
Gonna say, it made me think of Def Leppard's Hysteria when you did that. I get hysteria! Hysteria! Near the clitty, near the clitty.
Folks, that does it for this segment. When we come back, we're headed in the final segment of the day. It is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. We've made it to the final segment of this episode, but not before we bring you This Day in History. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Moo! Moo! Moo!
Wow. I'll take that as a yes. A little callback to Animal Tales, but
yeah, that one went a little nuts. But I always try to find something that's different, weird, or just kind of chuckle versus the basic yes, no. And there's only so many yes, no clips, so now I have to get creative and find some weird shit to throw on here.
That one qualified as all three. Well, yeah, folks, while you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring. Spread the love. Put us out there. Share, share, share.
And we love spreading the love, which is why we like dropping a little knowledge on you, hopefully making you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right, let's go ahead and kick things off. This day in 1521, the Edict of Worms outlaws Martin Luther and his followers.
I got worms.
There's lots of worms. The Edict of Worms, Martin Luther and your followers, this is 1521. The worms are taking over, okay? It's the Edict of Worms.
I got worms. Let's move on. This day in 1787, the Constitutional Convention opens at Philadelphia. George Washington presiding. That's back when you could hold conventions, way before the pandemic. I just want to know what he cosplayed as.
I don't know. I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe Jaws from the James Bond movie with his teeth. He put some metal in there.
Chomp, chomp.
Moving on, this day in 1816, a collection of poems by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, published by John Murray in London, including Kubla Khan and Christabel. Boy, he really likes those hard "k" sounds with some very strange words.
Yeah, my favorite poem is Kubla Khan, and it's about this guy named Kubla and Khan. It's like a precursor to the Wrath of Khan. Star Trek, it's coming. Don't worry, give it about 150 years or so.
Moving on, this day in 1842, Christian Doppler presents his idea known as the Doppler effect to the Royal Bohemian Society in Prague. Tony, are you familiar with the Doppler effect?
Yeah, the Doppler
radar 5000 from...
Yeah. That's the only time. When I hear Doppler, I think of the Doppler radar for weather. So that's it.
Doppler is actually a way of tracking sound waves. The best example would be a fire engine coming your way. You know, you can hear it from almost miles away, and it gets louder and louder and louder. And then as soon as it passes you, it seems to almost disappear like that. That's the Doppler effect. So, yeah, we're dropping a little knowledge on you folks.
Ooh, I like it.
Moving on, this day in 1895, Oscar Wilde is sentenced to 2 years imprisonment for gross indecency, which I assume he wrote about something, and words are evil, and so he spent 2 years in prison for writing something that somebody didn't like.
Wow.
Times had changed. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, he would be allowed to do that kind of stuff today. But
maybe
not back then. No, I'm not saying he wouldn't offend people, but right. But people can get away with saying and doing different stuff today.
I don't know. With cancel culture, it's sort of coming back around to that now.
Oh, that is true. Our buddy, he keeps going around, Megadeth's bass player Ellefson, canceled. Too bad, too, man. Good bass
Let's
player.
move on. We've got, quite a few in the baseball realm, starting with this one in 1919. I would have loved to have seen this. Casey Stengel releases a sparrow from under his baseball cap. Could you imagine walking out to the mound, you take your cap off, and sparrow flies away?
Now batting, Casey the Sparrow Stengel.
It's like a John Woo film in slow motion.
Face off.
Moving on, this day in 1922, Babe Ruth is suspended for 1 day and fined $200 for throwing dirt on an umpire. And back in 1922, $200 was like, what, $3 million by today's money?
That's a huge fine, yeah. That's just funny. Don't piss off the Babe. You're going to get dirt thrown at you.
No, I'm surprised he didn't flick his cigar at him.
Yeah, I'm glad. It was better than vampire fish. You don't want that thrown at you either.
Nope.
No.
Moving on, this day in 1927, Henry Ford announces that he is ending production of the Model T Ford, which obviously pioneered the assembly line, but by 27, it was an antiquated vehicle. Obviously, they moved on to great vehicles like the Ford Escape that Tony drives, and nothing ever goes wrong with that, right, Tony?
Never. Found on road dead. That's what Ford stands for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's keep rolling on. This day in 1941, Ted Williams raises his batting average to over 400 for the first time in 1941, which in baseball, that is a fantastic batting average.
Yeah, it is. Way to go, Ted.
All right, speaking of baseball, this day in 1951, and this goes to show that not everybody starts out hot. You got to find your footing sometimes, but New York Giant Willie Mays' first major league game, he goes 0 for 5. So big old
Say, hey, kid, keep your head in the game. It's okay. There'll be better days. You'll move to San Francisco. You'll become a legend. You'll get traded back to New York. You'll play for the Mets for a season. People will forget about it. But, hey, you're going to be a legend. Don't worry about going 0 for 5.
Let's keep rolling on. This day in 1961, JFK announces the U.S. goal of putting a man on the moon before the end of the decade, which they accomplished, depending on, if you believe or don't believe the conspiracy theorists that Stanley Kubrick did it on a soundstage.
On a soundstage, right. Who knows? We'll never know. There's never going to be an answer. That's always going to be one of those great debate conspiracies there.
I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure.
I figure if we can get what things we're doing nowadays, I mean, you had to have the early origins of getting up there, so.
Yep. Oh, more sports history. This day in 1965. Muhammad Ali knocks out Sonny Liston at 2 minutes and 12 seconds of round 1 at Central Maine Civic Center. Lewiston to retain his WBA heavyweight boxing title. So, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest there ever was.
Down goes Liston in an amazing 2 minutes and 12 seconds in round 1. You suckers paid all this money. Down goes Liston and still champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. Prince Ali of Ababwa.
Moving on, this day in 1967, let's see how bad that accent is, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
John Lennon takes delivery of his psychedelically painted Rolls Royce.
I took some mushrooms from the closet and I found them and I just went on this trip. It was not a magic submarine, but a Rolls Royce. Boy, Oh, I lost my British accent when I did it. I just found me mushrooms. That was after me Lucky Charms.
Let's keep rolling on. This day in 1969, Midnight Cowboy, directed by John Schlesinger and starring John Voight and Dustin Hoffman, is released. Won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1970. Midnight Cowboy, big fan of that movie, Tone?
Actually, never seen it. I know about it, but I've never watched it.
Okay.
Like a midnight cowboy. Definitely Kmart cowboy.
Here's one you are familiar with. And then finally, here in This Day in History. This day in 1979, Alien, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Sigourney Weaver, is released. Fantastic movie. Still holds up today.
Yep. Legendary movie with Ripley. She was, that was her most famous role before Dana Barrett. But yeah, Alien, man. That still holds up well today for being a movie from 1979. Actually, still quite a terrifying sci-fi movie there.
And much better than even some of its sequels.
Folks,
before we head out for the day, let's run down some of today's holidays, where we talk about the things that we like to celebrate. For instance, Tony, today is Geek Pride Day. Tony.
Oh, heck yeah. Look around. Embrace the nerd.
It is National Brown Baggot Day. I feel like we had that last week.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe it's so nice they celebrate it twice.
Yeah. It is National Missing Children's Day. Oh, that's sad. It is National Tap Dance Day. It is Towel Day. And finally, Tony, it is National Wine Day. Pour yourself a glass of red, a glass of white. Enjoy the rest of the Tuesday. Join us back here tomorrow on a Wednesday for a brand new show where words truly are hard. We will see you all then.
Peace!